What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again with another Bible reading video. And today, man, we're about to be reading out of Second Chronicles, chapters 7 and 8. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Fire from heaven. As soon as Solomon finished his prayer, fire came down from heaven and consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifices. And the glory of the Lord filled the temple. And the priest could not enter the house of the Lord, because the glory of the Lord filled the Lord's house. When all the people of Israel saw the fire come down and the glory of the Lord on the temple, they bowed down with their faces to the ground on the pavement and worshipped and gave thanks to the Lord, saying, For he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. The dedication of the temple. Then the king and all the people offered sacrifice before the Lord. King Solomon offered as sacrifice 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. So the king and all the people dedicated the house of God. The priests stood at their posts, the Levites also, with the instruments for music to the Lord that King David had made for giving thanks to the Lord, for his steadfast love endures forever. Whenever David offered praises by their ministry, opposite them the priests sounded trumpets, and all Israel stood. And Solomon consecrated the middle of the court that was before the house of the Lord, for there he offered the burnt offering and the fat of the peace offerings, because the bronze altar Solomon had made could not hold the burnt offering and the grain offering and the fat. At that time Solomon held the feast for 7 days, and all Israel with him, a very great assembly from Lebo-Hamath to the brook of Egypt. And on the 8th day they held a solemn assembly, for they had kept the dedication of the altar 7 days, and the feast 7 days. On the 23rd day of the 7th month, he sent the people away to their houses, joyful and glad of heart for the prosperity that the Lord had granted to David, and to Solomon, and to Israel his people. If my people pray. Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and all the king's house. All that Solomon had planned to do in the house of the Lord and to his own house he successfully accomplished. Then the Lord appeared to Solomon in the night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as the house of sacrifice. When I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or command the house to devour the land, or send pestilence among my people, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and consecrated this house, that my name may be there forever. My eyes and my heart will be there for all time. And as for you, if you will walk before me as David your father walked, doing so according to all that I have commanded you, and keeping my statutes and my rules, then I will establish your royal throne, as I command with David your father, saying, You shall not lack a man to rule Israel. But if you turn aside and forsake my statutes and my commandments that I have set before you, and go and serve other gods and worship them, then I will pluck you from my land that I have given you. And this house, for I have consecrated for my name, I will cast out of my sight, and I will make it a proverb and a byword among all peoples. And at this house which is exalted, everyone passing by will be astonished and say, Why has the Lord done thus to this land and to this house? Then they will say, Because they abandoned the Lord, the God of their fathers, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, and laid hold on other gods, and worshipped them, and served them. Therefore he has brought all this disaster on them. Okay, that is it for chapter 7. Chapter 8, let's get right to it. Solomon's accomplishments. At the end of 20 years in which Solomon had built the house of the Lord in his own house, Solomon rebuilt the cities that Hiram had given to him, and settled the people of Israel in them. And Solomon went to Hamath-Zobah and took it. He built Tamor in the wilderness and all the store cities that he built in Hamath. He also built Upper Beth-horon and Lower Beth-horon, fortified cities with walls, gates, and bars, and Belath, and all the store cities that Solomon had, and all the cities for his chariots, and the cities for his horsemen, and whatever Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem, and Lebanon, and all the land of his dominion. All the people who were left of the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, who were not of Israel, from their descendants who were left after them in the land, whom the people of Israel had not destroyed. These Solomon drafted as forced labor, and so they are to this day. But of the people of Israel, Solomon made no slaves for his work. They were soldiers and his officers, and the commanders of his chariots and his horsemen. And these were the chief officers of King Solomon, 250, who exercised authority over the people. So he had 250 people with, like, I guess, higher ranking authority to, like, kind of help govern certain sectors, I guess. Probably. Okay. Solomon brought, or maybe judges or something. Solomon, chief officers, so I guess, yeah. Um, Solomon brought Pharaoh's daughter. I kind of like who Pilate is in the New Testament is probably what these soldiers were to Solomon, like what Pilate is for the Romans. I guess if that makes sense. Okay, Solomon brought Pharaoh's daughter up from the city of David to the house that he had built for her. For he said, "My wife shall not live in the house of David, king of Israel, for the places to which the ark of the Lord has come are holy." And Solomon offered a burnt offering to the Lord that he had built. Burnt offerings to the Lord on the altar of the Lord that he had built before the vestibule as the duty of each day required, offering according to the commandment of Moses for the Sabbath, the new moons, and the 3 annual feasts, the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks, the feast of booths. According to the ruling of David his father, he appointed the divisions of the priests for their service, and the Levites for their offers of praise and ministry before the priests as the duty of each day required, and the gatekeepers in their divisions at each gate. So for David the man of God had commanded, and they did not turn aside from what the king had commanded the priests and the Levites concerning any matter and concerning the treasuries. Thus was accomplished all the work of Solomon, from the day the formation of the house of the Lord was laid until it was finished. So the house of the Lord was completed. Then Solomon went to Ezion-Geber and Eloth on the shore of the sea, in the land of Edom, and Hiram sent to him by the hand of his servants ships and servants familiar with the sea. And they went to Ophir together with the servants of Solomon, and brought them there 450 talents of gold, and brought it to King Solomon. Okay, that is it for today's video. I appreciate you guys for watching. I love y'all so much. Like I said, God bless you guys. As always, God bless you guys. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate you guys' time. The fact that you're watching these videos, the fact that I have a couple people that watch every day, or some days. It really does. It means a lot to me that you're sitting here and listening to me speak, even though it's a God's word that I'm reading and it's really less of me and more of him. Still pretty cool. So, I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. And yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.